finally starting to pop up a couple cells just west towards the Grand Ole Lake of the Cherokees. You had south towards Cherokee County, Tahlequah, and then maybe even getting close to Lake Tenkiller, some of these cells. But we've got northern cells to talk about as well. These storms right over Benton County getting pretty nasty. Wouldn't be surprised here in a moment if they did become severe coming in from the National Weather Service. But let's take a closer look at some of these cells that are hitting us pretty good. Bentonville, this storm is starting to leave us. But if you live on the south side of Bentonville, right into Cave Springs, the Pinnacle Hills area, the Promenade, there towards Mercy Hospital, the Walmart Amp, or even talking about the Topgolf area, we're watching these storms continue to hit us. You back west along Highway 412, you kind of start to get clipped again once you get west of Taneytown. Salem Springs, we've got some heavy rain and storms coming in from Little Kansas, across the state line too. We do have a severe thunderstorm warning for this storm coming in from Missouri. Got some gusty winds from the northern end of Beaver Lake, just north and east of the Lost Bridge Marina area, just north of Sailboat Cove, kind of skimming the Garfield and Gateway, Arkansas area. But this is probably our strongest storm. Lots of lightning coming into the west end of Beaver Lake. If you live around Pea Ridge, you live around Prairie Creek, you go to downtown Rogers, right up and down the road, you go past the Daisy Manufacturing Plant, you go past the Rogers Airport, the Walmart FBO, we've got a good storm over us. In fact, it looks like we've got a little bit of hail trying to grow too. This is some hail coming right into the western end of Beaver Lake. So anywhere from Prairie Creek, you head south towards Lake Atalanta. We've got hail now coming down, almost up to about inch-sized hail. Don't be surprised if this gets a warning here in a moment. This is going to spread eastbound towards Camp War Eagle, Horseshoe Bend. You head to the Rocky Branch area. We're going to be watching this storm. Hail coming in. Also, a little bit of hail coming in Salem Springs, too. This is just under severe limits, maybe up to about nickel-sized hail here at the moment coming in, too. So that's what we're watching. You go back, here's a scan, here's a wide view. So far in the River Valley, we just haven't had anything try to pop up. We're dry. Fort Smith, Poteau, Salisaw, Greenwood, even east into Clarksville, Paris, and Boonville. We're dry. If we're not able to pop up anything to the west, this is only going to be our only round. Now, we do have some more storms here just west of Tahlequah. We'll have to watch those, see how much they grow over time. But if it's only the northern side of the area that gets the storms, these storms will move east and maybe slightly southeast. I think they could probably clip parts of the mountains and maybe into northern Johnson and Franklin County, but that would probably be about it. We'll let you know if anything changes, but that's what it's kind of looking like right now. Most of the activity should just stay off to the north. Here's that cell, lots of lightning growing with this storm too as it hits over the Rogers area, coming right into Prairie Creek, hitting there at the Prairie Creek Marina and headed east towards Hobbs State Park. This is what it looks like outside in Springdale. I'll step off to the side here for a moment. See some low clouds out there, lots of humidity. That humidity is the reason why the clouds are so low to the ground. But this is a live look from our Holiday Inn camera. This is a live look coming in from Bentonville. In fact, the sun's trying to come back out now. But look at those storm clouds. They're just off towards the west and to the south. Kind of looks like a painting out there. But we're starting to dry out in Bentonville, except the south side of Bentonville, Cave Springs, X&A. We've got some storms around us. And even the Pinnacle and Promenade areas, we're watching some of those storms too. This live look in Pecola and Fort Smith. Notice how the clouds are a lot smoother. They're a lot flatter. We just have not been able to pop up anything so far. So that's what it looks like outside. We'll go back to the radar. Got that hail trying to come in over Prairie Creek. So look out for some up to maybe quarter-sized hail. A lot of it maybe nickel-sized hail. You start to get more damage, maybe a cracked windshield or something like that, maybe a dent in your car when you get closer to the quarter-sized hail. Nickel-sized hail doesn't tend to do as much damage, but we have a mix of nickel-sized and quarter-sized hail on the west end of Beaver Lake. This storm is probably going to hit the entirety of the lake. So if you live anywhere along the shores, we're watching this storm for you guys. More storms back off towards the west, kind of replacing the storm that we have over Rogers. There's a closer look at the hail once again. This storm doesn't seem like it has as much hail coming to Salem Springs. It's mostly this storm right now that we're watching. Let's take a look at the wind too. We've had some gusty winds at times. We've got a good gust of wind coming over the Beaver Lake area just because of that storm that's sitting over us. Lighter winds back west towards Salem Springs. You got an update, Stephen? Okay, awesome. Let me show that. We're going to see in a moment. It's going to take a second for the data to come in, but the National Weather Service and Little Rock will be expanding the tornado watch. The red color, I know there's lots of reds on the map, but this more transparent red color that's on the map, not moving like the storms, this is that tornado watch that includes Benton, Carroll, Madison, Washington counties. There you see the extension. See how far it goes. So it does include Johnson County, Logan County, Scott County. It gets cut off before you include Polk County. But then much of central Arkansas is now under that new tornado watch. If you got friends and family in Conway and Little Rock, we're going to be watching the storms for them too. So far, the strongest storms are to the north. Look at these cells coming right over Mountain Home, Harrison. Nasty storms with a lot more wind than the storms that we have. These are headed eastbound, Jonesboro. If you got friends and family up there, they're going to be watching storms as well here very shortly. Stronger than probably what we've got. Closer to home, we've got our 2 cells. We've got that one that's growing, crossing the state line. We've got another one right over Rogers and western ends of Beaver Lake, now including going into Berryville, Eureka Springs. We've got some heavy rain. You go to the Turpentine Creek Wildlife Refuge. That's where we're watching some storms as well. Northern Madison County, mainly staying just north of Huntsville. Tell you what, you look north in Huntsville, you can see the storm for sure. You're looking from Springdale, you're looking from Fayetteville, you're looking north, and this is what it looks like outside in the Springdale area. See some low cloud appendages every once in a while. Not very much rotation right now with those, which is good, but we're still watching. Let's go back. Let me take you kind of a wide view. We'll talk a little bit county by county. Let's start in the south and go north. If you live in LaFleur County, we're just waiting. We may not get anything. There is definitely a chance we don't really get anything in LaFleur. Scott County, there's a chance as well. Yes, we're under the watch, so the ingredients are still there, but so far we haven't had anything to pop to the west to move in. And until that takes place, might not get much. Latimer, Haskell County, same story, not getting much. Sequoia County, we'll have to watch this storm. See this storm that's kind of on the north end of Lake Tenkiller, headed there towards Chicken Creek and Tahlequah? This storm could get close to us, but we'll have to see. Still need to take a right-hand turn from the storm's perspective and start dropping south. You go into Crawford County, same story. So far, these storms are struggling moving south. Could they eventually? Possibly. We'll have to see. One thing that we're noticing across parts of eastern Oklahoma is this outflow boundary. This is from some of the storms we had closer to the Kansas state line earlier. This has cooler air coming in, starting to pick up the bugs, going right through T-Town. Broken Arrow is going to be next, headed towards Bixby and Sapulpa. This line could spark more storms over the next couple of hours as it pushes south and east. But also as we push south and east, we lose our daylight, we start to stabilize the atmosphere a little bit. So that's something kind of counteract that. Got to watch. So keeping our eyes out towards the west. Let's go east to Logan County. Not much happening for a while. There's a chance we don't get much. Crawford County, same story. Franklin County, we'll have to watch. Things could change. Got to really see how the environment goes with some of these storms that head more into the mountains. So this storm that's near Tahlequah would come into parts of Adair County and then into Washington. We'll see how they move into the mountains here shortly. But it's mainly been the storms just to our north that have been the nastiest, and we're finally getting clipped in Benton County with some of that rain. This is taking a look closer at Benton County. We got a little bit of that hail still that we're tracking. We felt some hail right near, right over the Prairie Creek Marina, it looks like. Right in there, we picked up some maybe up to quarter-sized hail. Most of it nickel-sized hail. Now it's majority nickel-sized hail. Rocky Branch, we're getting it. You head to the eastern end of the lake towards Big Clifty. We're watching that hail pocket. Even Lost Bridge area, we're getting closest with some of that hail coming around us. But the heart of the hail is right on the center of the lake there. Camp War Eagle area, we're watching the hail coming towards us. You got campers out there. They're watching that storm. A little bit of hail coming into Silent Springs as well. I've got my weather team with me too, so you're going to hear me every once in a while kind of yell at them. Special weather statements? For which one?
That one was for Springdale, Silent Springs.
Okay. So this storm right here, Steven's talking about, not going to be severely warned at this time, but what you do instead is you put out a special weather statement which says, hey, this is a nasty storm. Not quite to severe limits, but still pretty nasty. We have up to about nickel-sized hail, maybe some winds up to 45 miles per hour or so, coming into southwestern Benton County, so up and down 412. You go over the Illinois River, getting that heavy rain for us. Man, I tell you what, it's pouring right now over Silent Springs. This storm's coming right at us in Springdale and Johnson, Lowell, Bethel Heights. You go to Highway 264, you're stopping off there at the Workman's Travel Center. You're also headed to the Arkansas State Police Center. We're watching that. Cave Springs, downtown Cave Springs, we're watching that storm too. X&A, rain's starting to pick up for us And it's going to get even heavier here at the runways here in just a moment. You see this little yellow appendage, some heavier rain coming in to the airport. You head south to Fayetteville. Got a couple new flare-ups just west of town, close to Lake Weddington, headed towards the Stephen Carr exit. You got the Blessings Golf Course about here. Got some rain coming in for us. And so, especially northern end of Fayetteville, we'll watch some of these storms. If this storm can get a little bit bigger and slowly move a little bit more southeast and due east, we could get clipped in Fayetteville. Greenland and West Fork, kind of right on that edge. We'll see how far south this storm can go. Still keeping your eyes on that Tahlequah storm too. That could be something interesting that heads to the mountains later this evening. Back to the storm off to the north. Benton County, no longer under severe thunderstorm warning. That has now been canceled, expired by the National Weather Service. Coming in from Tulsa. And a couple things, chatting with the National Weather Service. So overall, for Northwest, had that good storm still hitting us over Beaver Lake, Prairie Creek. It will be moving here shortly. Also new from the National Weather Service, new flash flood warning in effect for Carroll County and northern Madison County. Guys, we picked up a lot of heavy rain this morning, so this isn't surprising that now all this heavy rain, look at all this rain that's hitting us, coming right over the lake in northern Madison County. And most of, I think all of, about 95% of Carroll County is included in this flash flood warning. So it kind of gets cut off there before you get to the county line. But this storm finally moving out of the metros, but really hitting us east side of Rogers downtown, go over the railroad tracks. Still some heavy rain for us. It's pouring still in downtown. It should maybe wrap up in a second, but then we don't have a storm that's too far behind. You're looking at a storm coming in from Silent Springs. I'll show you what it looks like outside in Springdale. Kind of ominous looking clouds. Those clouds are cut off. Let me move this camera a little bit more to the right. You're seeing some low hanging fruit there coming over East Springdale, Northeast Springdale, coming in from Cave Springs, headed towards Lowell, Bethel Heights, and Rogers. They look scary, but they're not really doing anything. So that's some good news. I think we can zoom in a little bit closer to, let me see, let me refresh this. Still looking live in Springdale. There we go. Here's a closer look at those. Just hugging the landscape there in northern Washington County. Just floating in the wind. But if you look there on the western side, look how slowly they do rise up into the storm using that heat and humidity that we've been talking about. And you can see the heat and humidity going inside that strong thunderstorm in southern Benton County and northern Washington County. But the good thing is that it's mainly just moving straight up, right into the cloud. We're not seeing as much rotation right now. We'll let you know if anything changes. We do have some rotation in the atmosphere, but the low-level rotation has kind of struggled a little bit. This is what it looks like way off in the distance. Got more low clouds. Look how, I mean, those almost look like they're touching the ground. These are not in a tornado type of way, just because it's so humid, almost like a fog. You're looking towards Beaver Lake. We got that strong thunderstorm with some hail coming in over the lake. Again, this is our camera coming in from Holiday Inn. Lightning flashes you'll see every once in a while. It continues to hug close to the lake out there. Some gusty winds up to about 45 miles per hour, so we're below severe limits, but still a good storm. Some nickel-sized hail falling out of this storm. Kind of keep on just moving to the right or to the east. Here's a zoom out. Gets a little bit tough here in the evening. Look how orange that sky is too, coming in at sunset. Crazy looking storm out there as the sun gets a little bit lower. It gets in between the cloud deck and the ground, and you get that kind of orangey glow effect. There's those storms. Remember, we were just looking at those and it wasn't really orange like that. The sun's just getting in position. But you're looking live over Highway 412. See the twin water towers way off in the distance, kind of looking close to the south end of XNA, kind of Elm Springs area. Watching over, look over Lake Elmdale. Moving the camera back off towards the east a little bit too. Here's some rumbles of thunder across northwest Arkansas. Looking at those low clouds. Look how low they are. They're just kissing the ground there because of the heat and humidity. Let's take you live outside in Bentonville. That's what it looks like from our Jack Links iCam. I may be able to move it as well. Let's see. Been working on some of our cameras. I'm gonna have to. But you're looking there just south of the Walmart home office. I gotta type this in real quick. Very turbulent sky, but most of the storms are just staying south of the city. You got to more go towards Cave Springs in order to really get in on the action there. Almost got it, guys. Okay, so I'm gonna move this a little farther south. Oh, look at that sky. See even that little bit of a blue, even a bit of a green tint. Sometimes when that takes place, you're looking at some hail. Look how low those clouds are too. You're watching some heavy rain out there in the distance as well. Look at that sky. Love our iCams there. Looking south of the Walmart home office, you're looking down Walton. Pretty quiet. Looks like a lot of folks home. Watching these storms come in. Live look at Bacola and Fort Smith, guys. Not a lot is happening in the River Valley. If you're tuning in, you're coming in from Fort Smith, you're saying, hey, where are my storms? I haven't gotten anything. We may not get anything. Well, it's hard to say. There's a storm that's starting to strengthen over Lake Tenkiller on the northern shores. But as of right now, most of these are staying to the north. We haven't been able to pop up anything over Lake Eufaula. Earlier today, we're wondering, okay, Lake Eufaula, keep your eye out there. Maybe storms fire up, move in, move east. They just haven't so far. And the atmosphere will slowly stabilize over time. We could get a southerly low-level jet to come in later this evening, but we'll see. So far, all the activity's been in northwest Arkansas. All right, let's take a closer look. Once again, the tornado watch has been expanded. If you're just tuning in, it's been expanded for Johnson, Logan, and Scott County. So the chance is still there, but so far, just the activity's been in the north. You've seen that storm right over Rogers and Prairie Creek. Slowly push east. We got it right over Montanay and Clear Point, Frisco. We're watching the storms over Horseshoe Bend, Marina, Hickory Creek. Campgrounds there. Camp War Eagle, there towards the War Eagle Mill. We're watching this storm closing in. Lots of heavy rain, but we're starting to dry out a little bit, other than some light raindrops a little bit here and there. Over Bentonville there, Pinnacle, Promenade, Walmart, Amp. You go south to Hyde Park, Shadow Valley, Healing Springs, and Highfield. We've got a little bit of rain. It looks like this cell. Let's see. Let's update the. Moving about 35 miles per hour. This cell's trying to take a little bit more of a southerly run. If it can continue to do so, we're talking about Arvest Ballpark here at 8:26. So here in about 5 minutes, coming to Arvest Ballpark. Johnson 8:30, Fayetteville 8:40, Goshen 8:47. Back east towards Elkins and Harris, 8:53, if this cell continues to move in. Now in Fayetteville, you think, Matt, it's already raining. Yeah, we got some rain there on the north side. You go north towards Washington Regional, the uptown area. You got the Razorback Malco Theater. We got some rain coming around us. What we're talking about with this timing is the bigger storm. There could be a little rain first, but this is the bigger storm coming in from the west that we got to watch. This is taking a look at the hail. Let me take off. This shows you just current hail and over the past 30 minutes. See how it moves. So you don't see the track of it anymore. So it looks like most of the hail's just sitting right over Beaver Lake there towards Rocky Branch. And just east of Rocky Branch towards Big Clifty. Got this pocket of hail on the southeast side of Siloam Springs. That's the one that could be headed towards Fayetteville here shortly. Farmington, Lake Weddington. Here's Lake Weddington. See that right there? There's Lake Weddington. Could be getting some hail towards Savoy here soon. And it'll come in towards the Blessings Golf Course. Maybe making a run at Johnson and there towards Fayetteville. It'll go along Weddington first. Come in towards Owl Creek and Mount Comfort Road. Mountain Ranch area we'll be watching too. Looks like still just a special weather statement. We got winds up to about 50 miles per hour. I'll show you what those winds look like. A little bit of wind, a little bit more wind on these storms to the east, kind of pushing across Carroll County right now. Still that severe thunderstorm warning for Eureka Springs. That should be canceled here shortly. Once again, looking live. A couple storms out there. We'll see if this one can hold a little bit longer. I'm going to step to the side, and we're going to move. Maybe let's try to do Fayetteville. See if we can get that one loaded. I got meteorologist Stephen Elmore with me. I've got meteorologist Bella Grace monitoring the atmosphere as well, trying to find where these storms are going to be firing up next. And so far, it's mainly just been northwest Arkansas, mainly even just Benton County and Carroll County. But finally starting to get the northern fringes of Washington and Madison counties watching these storms. Good pocket of lightning, though. Look at that. Right over Beaver Lake. It's noisy for us. Any around Big Clifty to Berryville, Turpentine, Hobbs State Park. Get loading. Go ahead and erase all the way to the slash and just include the slash. There you go. Now see what pops up. And it may not. Our Fayetteville camera may be down here in a moment. We might actually be able to look in Springdale. You think that one? Okay, let's go ahead and go back to Springdale. This is a live look. You're looking live back to the northeast. May be able to move it here in just a moment. Kind of go back off towards the west because we've got that next storm that's approaching Springdale, Johnson, and Fayetteville. Look at those low clouds too. You're looking towards Beaver Lake right now. And it's so humid that the clouds just form right above the ground. Looks scary. You see some flashes of lightning there off in the distance too. But this is a live look over Springdale. A couple lightning strikes there over the lake. See some rumbles of thunder. But yeah, if you keep going back to the left, to the west, that should be that new storm. We'll see kind of what that looks like. Takes a second to move some of these. Got that orange glow with the sunset. Looks ominous out there, doesn't it? Maybe we look towards Arvest Ballpark. We may be able to see it. You're looking at Interstate 49. Quiet in Springdale now, but we've got that storm that's just next door. There you go. Now you're looking towards Arvest Ballpark. They got the lights on. Got some thunder rolls coming in. Just a good downpour. It's harder to see the definition on this one, to be honest. But what Steven's doing is he's showing you that downpour that's off towards the west. Got some flashes of lightning with that one too. Got the darker skies. Here's that rain shaft. Kind of see where the clouds all of a sudden drape towards the ground. That's that rain shaft that's coming in. Very heavy rain approaching the Springdale area. Guys, what's also crazy is how much water's in the atmosphere right now. We've got over 2 inches of precipitable water. That's just how much water's available, sitting everywhere. You know, some storms can tap more than that because they kind of steal some air that neighbors them. Sometimes it can even drop more than 2 inches, but there's just a lot of water. Clouds are low, but you're looking live there in Springdale. Stephen, are we able to move it just a little bit more to the right? Maybe kind of looking a little bit more towards Tawnytown. Look at that strike. You see that? So this storm is continuing to plow through, coming right at us, coming right down Highway 412. You're looking at the Sam's Club there. You're looking west of Tawnytown. Right there where we had the Grape Festival last week. You're looking at the winery. Big storm coming in from the west. This is what it looks like from a hail perspective. We still got some hail in it approaching Lake Weddington. Lake Weddington's about here. We may be able to avoid most of the hail in Springdale if this thing can continue to move a little bit more south and east than just due east, but something to watch. If you live in Johnson, we can get a little bit of hail for you guys. Blessings Golf Course. If you got a moment, maybe pull in your car for a second. You got a garage in Johnson, North Fayetteville. Got some hail trying to come in for us. More hail as you go back east, though, around Beaver Lake. Here's what that storm looks like just from the radar's perspective. Good storm coming in from the west. We're looking back on the southwest side. This is where your hail pocket's coming in from with the lightning, kind of coordinating the two. Watching this move south and east. I'm going to move this a little bit farther south. We'll look at that cell coming in from Tahlequah. Oh, hold on. I got to reset it. There we go. There we go. All right, so here's Lake Tenkiller, northern shores, just north of Petite. Watching this storm, moving right into Adair County. Stillwell, we got some rain coming in for us. So far, this storm is not strengthening very much. It's kind of got up to, to the point where it's a good downpour, but it hasn't really increased much beyond that. Trying to look for any lightning strikes. Looks like we have one. Lightning detection network doesn't pick up every lightning strike, but it picks up the vast majority. But what we can basically safely say is there's just not a lot of lightning in that storm, which means that it's not doing so hot. If you start seeing more lightning, it means it's starting to strengthen. We'll go back north to, I think I stole the, You can have the mouse back if you want. Watching this storm coming from the west, right up and down Highway 412. Look at that cell that we were watching earlier coming in from Jay in Delaware County. That one's really weakened, maybe just to showers. Now for Bella Vista, you got the Highlands Golf Course right here. You got the completion of Highway 412, or Highway 49, Interstate 49. Also, random update, if you're still tuning in with us, you've been watching this and thinking, why have Fayetteville 5 News not connected this yet? Our mapping system is not updated except for every 10 years, and so it may be a little bit. We've contacted them asking, can you please complete Highway 49? We'll see when that takes place. But yes, Highway 49 doesn't just drop off. Finally been connected a couple years ago. Looking at that storm press east over Beaver Lake still. And we got that storm producing a little bit of hail. Marching eastbound too. This is what it looks like outside in Springdale. Storm's coming in, dark skies. Of course, we're getting just darker outside in general. Nightfall is approaching. Live look outside in McCollum, Fort Smith. Maybe some gravity wave action there. You're looking. That means you got energy kind of shock waves going through the atmosphere. Sometimes you spark a storm, but so we're looking just at the timing. We've had storms in northwest Arkansas by about the 8 o'clock hour. They're pushing east. Time right now just about 8:30. 9 o'clock as you get to the other side of Fayetteville, Elkins, Goshen, Huntsville. We'll continue to watch those. I'll look outside in Springdale again. Looks like these scans, the latest scans, have really dropped off the hail. See that? Let me show you just current hail. Really a lot weaker over 5 country. A little bit more as you head eastbound. We'll take a closer look at those cells. Look like a pretty good pocket there. Your Horseshoe Bend, so your East Mountain home. So we'll continue to monitor these storms. We're going to regroup for a second. Chat as a team on these storms, how they're doing. But so far, severe thunderstorm warning continues for Carroll County as that storm pushes on the east side of Beaver Lake. Still got some rolling thunder, though, over Beaver Lake. But the east side, you got to go past Rocky Branch. Got to go past Lost Bridge. You still have a little bit of rain there over Big Clifty, heading to Eureka Springs, Serpentine area. Hobbs State Park got a little bit of rain for us too. Hobbs State Park is massive, so parts of the state park are starting to dry out, but if you go north and east, you still got some. And then we're watching this storm coming into Fayetteville. Some good rain coming right into town right now over Farmington, but this storm is just a downpour at this time. It has a little bit of wind, up to about 45, maybe 50 miles per hour. But the stronger wind potential is this storm. Look at this. Look at that sharp edge right there. Right in here. I'll even, let me hit the now button. So let's stop moving the radar. Here's what it looks like. Got a good core of wind coming right through Green Forest, Carrollton, Osage, Kavanaugh. A lot of lightning too on this storm. But it's pushing south and east. Everyone in Carroll County has got rain at some point except Osage, and that's about to change here in just a moment. But that's our biggest wind potential right now, is coming right through Osage. Let's see. River Valley still waiting. We may not get anything. We'll see. We've got a boundary to the south. It just hasn't been able to do anything. I'll be able to show you that in a moment. I haven't redrawn the fronts here in a second, but this is where we've had the fronts throughout the day. The southern branch, weaker, still could produce storms. Look, all it's done. Produce some stronger storms there north of Dallas. You get to some of the casinos there just north of the river. We've had some hailstorms for us, but now those have weakened. The whole system to the north has been stronger. So storms love to be close to the storm fronts and boundaries. We've noticed the northern one just being much more active. Kind of in the middle, we just haven't had a lot. Yeah, there's that new cell that's popping up, but it's also kind of staying where it's been. I'll show you that. Yeah, still not doing much. Here's over the past 30 minutes doing that loop. Just good splash and dashes, not severe. The rain now picking up in Fayetteville and in Springdale and in Johnson. Could be a little bit of hail, maybe up to nickel-sized hail, probably closer to pea-sized hail coming in with this storm pushing across Washington County. We'll continue to monitor these cells as they push eastbound. I'll leave you with this live look in Springdale. It's about to get real windy. Got some good lightning with it too, but it's garden variety thunderstorm right now. So watch for that as it comes in. It's now approaching the I-49 corridor, starting to get us wet in Springdale, Johnson, and Fayetteville, but it's not severe. We've got winds closer to 45 miles per hour, so it's gusty, but severe limits closer to 60. Getting those flashes of lightning, so just a good, decent storm coming in Springdale, Farmington, Fayetteville, and Johnson. We'll continue to monitor these storms. So right now, just downpours with some rumbles of thunder. We'll watch them. We'll let you know if anything changes. We're also getting ready for our 5 News at 10. So we'll be talking with Darren and Alexandra on what's coming up tonight. But this is your storm. I'll leave it up for just a second. I'll even push this out of the way for a moment. It's not blocking so much, but you're looking live there outside in Springdale. Rain starting to come down. A little downpour across Washington County. Just been chugging along Highway 412. Clouds are low. Clouds are real low because of that humidity. But if you live anywhere in Fayetteville, Johnson, on the Blessings Golf Course, Lake Weddington, you're watching this storm and you're hearing it outside. Pretty noisy of a storm too, but so far staying below severe limits. We'll have more updates throughout the evening as needed, but for now we'll keep it here, keep it local as always. We'll keep you advised.